Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am Sanskriti Solanki and I am pursuing my English honors and I am in my second year. Today we will talk about one of the most important Victorian poets, Robert Browning. He was born in the year 1812 and died in 1889. So let's start with the introduction to his life. So Robert Browning was a very prominent writer and he did not have a background of literature, and much of his Browning's education was conducted at home by his father, which accounts for the wide range of unusual information the mature poet brought to his work. He was born at Walworth in London and died at Venice in Italy. He was the only son of his father, whose name was Robert Browning, and who was a clerk in the Bank of England. Robert Browning was an English poet and playwright whose dramatic monologues made him one of the most famous Victorian poets. Now, what is dramatic monologue? Dramatic monologue is a lengthy speech by a single person who is patently not the poet, makes up the whole poem in a specific situation at a critical moment. A type of lyric poem that was perfected by Browning as represented in My Last Duchess. So, My Last Duchess of Robert Browning is a very famous dramatic monologue. His poems are noted for irony, characterization, and dark humor, social commentary, historical settings, and challenging vocabulary and syntax. His first published work, Pauline, a fragment of a confession, which was published in 1833, was a critical failure. And then The Ring and the Book was a novel in verse. His novel in verse established him as a major figure in the history of English poetry. His poems are The Laboratory, My Last Duchess, Porphyria's Lover, Childe Roland to the Dark Tower Came, The Pied Piper of Hamelin, Sordello, Jocosaria, and etc. We will further discuss about his poems in our next videos. As of now, we'll talk about his age. Robert Browning was a poet from Victorian era, and the Victorian poetry succeeded the Romantic movement, but there was radical differences to be observed in this age. This dates from 1826 to 1901 and the reign of Queen Victoria. It can be further divided into two schools, that is the High Victorian poetry, which consists of the poets such as Alfred Lord Tennyson, Robert Browning, and Matthew Arnold. Next, Pre-Raphaelite poetry. It consists of the poets Dante Gabriel Rossetti and Charles Algernon Swinburne. Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood we will discuss in our next videos. The characteristics of this age are: this literary works focuses on sensory elements, such as it creates lots of imagery in reader's mind. Then it depicts the themes of religion and science conflict, as I've seen in The Laboratory of Robert Browning, and interest in medieval fables in legends. Most of the Victorian poets used imagery and the senses to convey the scenes of struggle between science and religion and the ideas of nature and romance. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching.